Ah, the Nintendo 3DS. In my opinion, it's Nintendo's best handheld console they've ever created. But what makes the 3DS number one? Well, it has a huge library of games, plus third-party titles and classics from previous generations. It's also backwards compatible with your DS games, so you can still enjoy your old DS library and even buy more DS games at a flea market or something. And if you were unfortunate enough to buy a 3DS for $300 like I did, you automatically become a Nintendo ambassador, which means you can enjoy a library of Game Boy Advance games and even certain Nintendo games for free that nobody else can access, or they would have to pay for. However, the 3DS is not perfect. There's just one thing holding the entire system back, and that's its battery life. I mean, the 3DS battery can only last 4 to 5 hours of pure game time, which is terrible when you compare it to things like the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, which were my two previous favorite systems. And if you wanted to extend the 3DS's battery life, you had to insert one of these huge bulky battery compartments that just made the 3DS look fat and, defeats the purpose of carrying around a portable system when you have this chunky ass battery pack inserted at the back of it. However, there is a solution, and that's to buy a compatible 3DS battery with a higher milliamp hour rating. The regular 3DS battery is rated at 1300 milliamps an hour, while the battery I bought from a company called Orbital is rated at 2000 milliamps an hour. I bought this at eBay for $17, but just to warn you that the 3DS battery and the 3DS XL battery are totally different, so make sure you look at the packaging. The 2DS uses the exact same battery as the 3DS, so don't worry about that. Now this is a stupid plastic packaging, so you're going to need scissors to cut it open, otherwise you're just going to cut yourself trying to tear it open. As you can see, here's the included battery, plus a little screwdriver, which it says it's compatible with 3DS screws, but it's way too big, and if I try to take out the screws with this screwdriver, it'll just strip the hell out of it, so I have to use my professional screws that I have downstairs. The 3DS has 4 screws at the back, and taking them out is pretty simple. Just be very careful not to go too fast. Otherwise you'll strip the very delicate screws. Once you got the screws loose enough, you can start taking off the back panel simply just by taking a thin object or your fingernail, lifting the back panel up, and then slowly but carefully pulling it out. Next, take the thinnest screwdriver you can find and carefully pry the battery off its case. Then once it's lifted up, you can just take the battery out and then insert the new battery as shown. See, as you can see here, this is Nintendo's factory installed battery, which is only 1300 milliamps, and you can see the Nintendo logo and everything. Now here I'm comparing the Nintendo 3DS battery with the new battery. As you can see, the new battery has a 2000 milliamp rating, but it also doesn't have the Nintendo logo on it, which means it's not a Nintendo product. So putting this in could void any warranties, but it's worth it for the extra battery life you're going to get. Now putting the battery back in is pretty simple. Just line up the connectors with the battery input on the case and just slip it in, and then that's it. Just align the back of the case in with the notches and then re-screw the 4 screws, and that's it. Now once you've tightened all the screws and everything, the last thing you need to do is recharge the battery, because it does not come fully charged for safety reasons. Now on the box it says to recharge it for 36 straight hours, but I say just leave it in for the rest of the day, or leave it in all night, and if the light's not on when you're done, then it's okay to play your games. Now here I'm showing you the old 3DS battery while the 3DS is being charged with the new battery, just so that you know that the new battery works and the old one is out of the case. Once it's fully charged, you can now open your 3DS and start playing all the games you want. As you can see, I'm going through the Nintendo main menu, and everything works just fine. Now that you know how to replace a 3DS battery, you can now enjoy all that extra battery life you're going to get thanks to the new battery. Now how does this give you more battery life? Well, it's like putting a bigger fuel tank in your car, the more gas it holds, or the more energy it holds, the longer your tank will run. So that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.